Hello and welcome. This is Kristen from the Online Selling Show, and I'm going to do a special episode today because we're just getting off of the 2024 holiday rush. Not saying the season's over with, but today is December 18th, and most of the shoppers I feel are now turning to sites like Amazon with Prime that's going to get it there in 2 days, or local shopping to them. My sales are still coming in, but I just don't feel that the rush is going to be there like it has been. What are some of the things that I feel eBay needs to catch up on? There's a couple things. For my background, I've mentioned before, is I have been selling for 22 years. So I have seen a lot of growth, a tremendous amount of growth in those 22 years with eBay. But Amazon came on and they have set new standards, and they have been my primary source of income since 2017. I've been selling on there for God knows how long, but I am primarily there in a wholesale business model. And they do set some standards that, you know, both platforms have their pros and their cons. Don't get me wrong, I've done another episode on what they are. But what did I see in this selling season that I feel eBay kind of needs to catch up on? One is not having daily sales limits. I know if you're into this and you're just getting started, or you're somebody that's had a business and you're looking to get it with a higher volume, you're probably looking at me thinking, Kristen, you are crazy. Where is that coming from? I'm telling you, when I'm doing a large volume, as I've been doing for several seasons now, and I can and dictate how many sales I'm willing to commit to getting out in a day, there is some way of being able to plan for that. I'm telling you, we've been doing hundreds of orders. It sounds great, but when you're in the middle of it, just telling you, eBay this season was always the outlier. You didn't know what it was going to be. It was always this surprise. There was a couple, probably 2 or 3 different Monday mornings where I was just like, wow, like where, and I'm blessed, don't get me wrong, I am not complaining, but it would be nice to be able to set your own pace. And the problem is you're committed to it, and I couldn't just decide to take the extra day. What would have been nice is if I'd been able to go in and set that daily limit like you can on the Amazon platform, and then be able to catch up to those orders should I so choose. And we did those on Amazon. I'm not saying that I always set to just doing that day's shipping. There's many of ways I handle and plan around in getting our shipping out and doing things to get things caught up. So that is one thing, is I wish they would give us daily limits. The second thing I would wish for is that this whole international selling thing was a little bit more smooth and streamlined. I felt that a lot of the international buyers were very frustrated with getting goods that were damaged, and I was surprised. They were doing very well in the beginning of the season, and then most of the stuff that seemed like it went out since Thanksgiving, we're putting it in packages that is from the manufacturer with molded styrofoam to the goods. I don't know what they were doing. Almost everything that has been sent to me back has been a complaint, and I wish they would just streamline it so that if there was a complaint, that they could somehow just allocate them over to a sales force at the eBay site to complain about the goods, because regardless of what's happening, I'm covered for the damage and I'm covered for any return that it's not coming back to me. So there was really no need for me to have to communicate with these people in that regard. So I do wish that eBay kind of got a little bit more caught up on that. Some of the other things, like I said, was the feedback removal. That's another thing, is that your request to have feedback removed when it was going to an international buyer through the eBay global shipping. I wish that they would have just made it another option for us to select our request for removal, because really there was no need for them to look at that. If the buyer was going to complain, I don't know what else they could complain about, because we don't dictate pricing as far as shipping goes. We don't do anything about returns or anything. So the only thing they can grade us on is communication anyway. So might as well just automate that. That's another, like, it just didn't make sense to me. Some of the communications on things for the buyers with domestic shipments who want replacements, that seemed a little bit clunky to me. I know that they can open up a return, and I believe in the process of what they're looking for. One of the selections could be asking for a replacement. I just felt like it was not very clear to the buyer. I think there could be some communication in there as well to just indicate, are you looking for a replacement? Are you looking for a return? And not really labeling it as being a return. I have a lot of people who seem to shop on the eBay site that aren't as tech savvy as you would stop to think. They don't know how to send me pictures, because if something is damaged, it's glass, it's damaged, I don't want it back. I don't want them handling it a lot so that it becomes, a problem where they're going to get cut or something like that. I would like to be able to just easily have them able to take a picture and send it over. I feel that the explanations I'm having to give on how to explain how to send a picture is very difficult. So I think that aspect kind of needs to get caught up, although Amazon doesn't have that really as a good feature. I feel eBay is ahead of that in how they do represent to the buyer that there is communication coming back and forth. I feel like eBay is a leg up on that. The mechanism of what Amazon has, where they can choose what person they don't want to contact them and things like that, is a little bit more ambiguous on the Amazon site than it is on eBay. eBay is a little bit more in your face about it. And I would say some of the other things some of it is in the listing aspect of it, but sometimes things like asking questions on like size, how big is this? I think the mobile site does need a little bit more work on eBay, because I don't feel that the buyers are, there's a lot of things in there where they're giving buyers the option to see similar types of things, and they're really not being able to see where the little link is that says to see the full description. And I had a lot of questions concerning things like sizing and all that was in my description, but the buyers were really, my only assumption is they were looking on a mobile phone or mobile device versus a lap or like a desktop, and it was really difficult, and I was getting repetitive questions that really could have been asked in a formatting of just seeing it in the description. Other than that, it was the same typical, people trying to get better pricing and just some other random questions. But for the most part, I'm very happy with both sales platforms. They, like I said, do have a different buyer psychology between the two of them. Just some of the minute things that I felt were ones that eBay could just do a little bit better of a job on. But for the most part, I'm very happy with them. I really can't complain. I'm very happy with, maybe some of the reporting could be a little bit better. But that would be a discussion for me in January when I started to do my analytics. But for now, those are what I was thinking of. And I'd like to hear your thoughts. What are you seeing through the season? Were you finding any of these to be issues? Maybe you're not. Maybe it's just for me. I don't know. And maybe it's the types of goods I have. Maybe you're carrying something different and it was just not something in your sales niche or your categories that you were selling in. Love to hear from it. Appreciate a thumbs up if you got any good information out of this. Definitely, like I said, leave some comments below. Let me tell me what you're thinking on it. And I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It would help me grow the channel, but it would put my future videos in your feed. That's the benefit for you there. And I'm going to say bye for now, and I'll catch you in the next one.